Lee? Did Bruce Lee
He was
put him on the map?
He was first off, he's a world-class martial artist.
Yeah.
But then he was like chiseled, and his looks aren't chiseled in granite; they're actually granite. He's so attractive. He's a brilliant specimen of humanity. And then they figured out he had acting chops. And then he got his own movies, his own TV series.
So Chuck Norris was in The Way of the Dragon, also known as Return of the Dragon in some areas. But he was a villain, known as Colt, in that movie. He was phenomenal, and he had a beard like nobody else has ever had a beard, and we will miss Chuck Norris.
Superman owns a pair of Chuck Norris underwear.
It's perfect. If you guys want to send us some of these, you're more than welcome to, by the way. We'll try to read a few towards the end of the show. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. Go watch Sidekicks if you haven't seen it yet. If you're of a certain age, actually any age, you'll probably enjoy the movie. So I highly recommend seeing it.
Chuck Norris's belly button is actually a USB portal.
That doesn't even make sense.
They're not all.
That doesn't make sense.
It's power. It's power.
I understand all the other ones, but why would his belly button be a... It's
power.
I guess it is power. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes a little sense.
It was a better joke when it was a power as a wall socket, but they upgraded it.
We have some guests coming on next. There's a ranch family who has been ranching for more than 70 years, and they are right now in a fight with the State Department of Ecology over their ability to feed their cattle with water on their land. Yeah. And they have been now fined like $300,000 and told that they're going to have to clean up this area that's going to cost like $3.7 million. And it's an insane amount. So we're going to get the details from them, and they will join us next on the show. So stick around. We'll be right back.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Xfinity Tech Support, Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. No!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026. Taxes, fees, extra.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back. File today the easy way in the Credit Karma app.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Multiple sources tell CBS News that the Trump administration is making heavy preparations for the potential use of ground forces in Iran. CBS News military analyst Jeff McCausland.
It does appear that the administration is reviewing this possible option. It furthermore suggests that they assumed at the onset this conflict was going to be relatively easy. There were suggestions the president, in discussion with some foreign leaders, had said that it might only take 3 or 4 days.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the Trump administration may suspend sanctions on Iranian oil already at sea in an effort to clamp down on energy prices that have skyrocketed. According to CBS's Kelly O'Grady,
the reason why we have seen prices go up so quickly is because we have limited the amount of supply that's going through with the Strait of Hormuz being closed. So this is all to just try and help free up some of that oil and make sure that prices don't go up even further.
The Department of Homeland Security appropriations bill fails in a 47-37 vote. The tally did not change from an hour ago with 16 absences. Over 4,000 people are told to evacuate due to flooding in Hawaii, as officials warn a 120-year-old dam could fail. Hawaii Governor Josh Green.
People have to stay safe. If there was water around your home and you can't get out, go to the upper floors of your house. Meanwhile, we'll have a lot of people going door to door to provide support.
Members of Congress will no longer get special airport security privileges.
Airports around the country allow members of Congress to bypass the usual TSA security screening process at airports nationwide.
Senator John Cornyn introduced the measure.
In other words, they get to skip the line.
Supporters say the change promotes fairness, ensuring lawmakers no longer receive expedited access while the public faces delays. The bill now goes to the House for approval. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
A new study suggests a little more physical activity could help prevent type 2 diabetes in teens. Dr. Antonio Cabrera with the American Heart Association.
It's a challenge for teenagers nowadays to find either time or a place to actually dedicate exclusively for 30 minutes of medium or higher intensity activities.
And which he says lowered their insulin resistance by 15%. And Walker, Texas Ranger star and martial artist Chuck Norris has died. His family says they want to keep the circumstances of his death private, but describe it as sudden. He was born Carlos Ray Norris in Oklahoma. He served in the U.S. Air Force during the Korean War, which he began practicing martial arts. He was 86. On Wall Street, the Dow closed down 447 points. This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount.
Jen,
The new bus line project underway on Eastlake already has a negative effect on businesses. More on that coming up. But first, your KIRO News Radio traffic brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Heading into Seattle, South 5 was still slow from Northgate into downtown. Linwood to Seattle has improved a little bit to 25 minutes. North 5, we've got backups approaching the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge. 25 minutes to get yourself through downtown. South 405, you're going to slow from 520 to the VMAC. Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes. North 405 is heavy through the Renton S-curves up to the VMAC. And Tacoma to Olympia, we're struggling this afternoon at 55 minutes. You've got about a 4-mile, really thick backup to get through JBLM. Get ready to be transported back to the golden era of rock. It's John Waite with John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band live at Emerald Queen Casino April 9th. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Nate Connors. Seattle's Rapid Ride J-Line project is rebuilding Eastlake Avenue at a cost of $156 million. But as we told you earlier this week, of the 5-mile route, only about 2 miles will have dedicated bus lanes. On the main stretch from Harvard Avenue to East Gaylor Street, the buses will be in mixed traffic, but there will be dedicated bike lanes. Paul Proas, owner of the 14 Carat Cafe on Eastlake, tells John Curley his business has suffered ever since the project started.
Oh, yeah, not just us, everybody. 30 to 45% in gross sales decreasing. People having a real difficult time in finding space to park.
All the street parking along this route is gone. Construction is expected to continue through next year. A sad day for radio news junkies as CBS News Radio announces it's going off air for good. Former Seattle's morning news host Dave Ross freelanced at the network for 27 years. He tells KIRO News Radio's G and Ursula it's another sign of a fast-changing media landscape.
The phone I hold in my hand could broadcast to 2 million people. You don't need a big organization to do that anymore. But that's the world we live in, guys.
CBS News Radio launched 99 years ago. It's going dark for good on May 22nd as part of a new round of layoffs. If you live in Snohomish County, there's a good chance your water bill could go up. Everett is thinking about doubling its utility tax on water and sewer service. The Everett Herald reports the city needs the money to help close a $14 million budget gap. The average customer would pay roughly $11 extra a month. Everett's water system serves about 670,000 people across the county. A casualty of all this rain, a landslide blocking I-5 northbound near Bellingham. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun has the latest.
This is just south of Bellingham at Lake Samish Road. Trees and boulders are covering the highway in 2 spots. You can see the mess there. WashDOT says engineers are out assessing the situation this morning. There is still no estimate on when this highway will reopen.
And right now you've got a 3-mile bumper-to-bumper backup approaching the detour route. And now your KIRO News Radio weather. 56 scattered rain this afternoon in Seattle. Overnight lows right around 40. Into the upper 30s over the weekend for overnight lows. Weekend highs around 50 and mostly sunny weekend coming up. Light rain and 56 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
All right, welcome back to the show. We are very excited to welcome some guests. I saw the story, Spike, and this felt to me like an injustice. And as I was watching, I was like, we should get these folks on. I want to hear their side of things.
Well, I know how you feel about injustice.
I hate it.
You can't sleep at night.
I can't sleep at night.
I support you on that.
I also hate big government stepping on the little guy, and this feels like this to me. And so I want to reach out to these good folks. The King family is a ranching family. Wade and Teresa King, who we have on with us right now. Welcome to the show, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then we also have their attorney and also a rancher and good friend of theirs, Tony Meacham, who is representing them in this case. Tony, welcome to the show as well.
Thank you.
Can you guys give me a little background first before we get into why you guys are fighting against the state, against this massive fine that they've given you? But Teresa and Wade, can you guys talk a little bit about your family's history in ranching in Washington and how long you guys have been doing it?
My great-grandfather came to Washington State in the early 1900s and homesteaded in Lincoln County.
Took out a couple land patents there. We still have property in Lincoln County. My family does, but the family ranch that we're on right now is in Grant County, and we also have property up in Douglas County. We're fourth generation and in Washington, and we've been on these particular ranches for 70 plus years.
Wow. Is that pretty common? Do you find a lot of the ranch people that you know, are they multi-generational, and is that becoming harder to do?
Yes, multi-generational. And I can up there in Douglas County in particular, it's really sad. When I was up there in 1980, and I look at all my neighbors there, from the Malones, the McLeans, and the Vances, and none of those families are involved in agriculture anymore, and it's just sad. We're losing our agricultural community.
It's tough in Washington State to do it. Even those names you're saying, they sound like storybook characters. I love it. The McLeans. What was some of the other names you mentioned there?
The Vances and Malones.
The Malones.
Yeah. Now, you guys have been involved in this legal dispute with the state of Washington is going on its fourth year coming up, if I'm understanding this rightly, and it's about water rights disputes. Is that right?
I don't think it's really necessarily it is about our water rights. Yeah, I guess it would be. We have stock water rights, and they are disputing that we have those stock water rights.
And you guys have cattle. And what size cattle ranch do you guys have?
Size in what way?
Well, size in like how many head of cattle are we talking about here? Because what's in dispute is that you guys are letting your cattle drink from water that the State Department of Ecology says you guys should not be letting them drink from. And some of that is on your own private land. Some of that they claim is on federal land. And I'm just trying to get a sense of size here.
I think I'll take that one, actually. So I think there's a little bit of a miscommunication on that. That is the state's narrative. However, under 90-44050, the ranchers and landowners and lessees have the right to dig and maintain stock ponds. So the King's Ranch that we're talking about doesn't have these natural water bodies like people are assuming, and they're not wetlands. These are man-made and man-maintained stock ponds that were built and maintained to allow wildlife and livestock the ability to drink water. If people didn't maintain them, they wouldn't be there.
Sure.
That's really probably what the heart of the issue is.
And can you tell me? I was just trying to get a sense of the size that we're talking about here. Is this 5 cattle that are drinking from these? Like what size?
Well, it really changes from year to year, but we're talking about 20,000 acres.
Okay, 20,000 acres. And you guys have, like you said, Wade, you guys have been on that land for 70 years. The disputed waterways, you guys, these dig outs, these have been there. Did these predate your family's time on that land?
So again, I'm going to take that because it's kind of funny. We filed an 1,157-page stock water declaration where the Kings were able to go back to before them and talk about when these ranches became used for livestock. And to do that, they had to have had sources of water.
Sure.
So this has been going on for way longer than 70 years. The Kings themselves have been doing it for 70 years.
And you've been maintaining these as well so that your animals have access to them?
Yes.
And you guys haven't changed any procedures that you do to sustain these watering sources, right? You haven't, gone nuclear on this land.
No. We're doing benefits and restoration and maintenance. I really burr up at this whole notion that we did destruction. Why would we destroy something that we're trying to? We rely upon.
Yeah.
Is that the state's claim that you guys are destroying this land?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are, I know people who are in the farming industry, and you're stewards of the land. It makes no sense for you to destroy the land that is your lifeblood. And for the state to come in, here's my question to you. So somebody's walking on the land and they see that they think there's a violation. So they report it to the Department of Ecology. That's in 2021. Is that right?
That's what we believe. I mean, we actually don't know how this started. We've had to do multiple public records requests to get the information that we do have. There's been a real lack of transparency from our opinion on the state side, but that is what the current narrative is. Yes.
How did they come up with the fine amount? Because I was reading a couple different articles about this, and that seems excessive to me. I think the number is $300,000 approximately.
It's $267,000 plus restoration. That again, the restoration piece is insane because these aren't wetlands to begin with, but the restoration on all these ponds, we're looking at, our experts are saying 3.7 million.
Jeez Louise.
When did the idea that these were actually wetlands get into the state's head? When did that, is that 2021?
Again, the lack of transparency, we really don't know, but that's what we believe.
So you guys are obviously fighting this. What is the current state of the trial? This isn't before a jury or anything.
It's not, and that's one of the issues. The Kings are fighting for their right to have a jury trial. That right is protected under the Washington State Constitution. They absolutely feel that they have the right to demand that. The Washington State Constitution says that the right to a jury trial is inviolate. I never say the word right, but it's inviolate. And that means that it can't be taken away. And for the PCHB and Department of Ecology to deny the Kings that right, it just boggles the mind. I mean, if you were accused of a criminal act and you were not given the right to a jury trial, everyone would be up in arms. And it's the same here. That fine amount alone is enough for the common person to say, this isn't right, and they deserve the right to have a jury trial.
Well, it just seems, I don't know if you saw this too, Spike, when you were doing your research into this, but the size of that fine seems so excessive to me. There's only a few other cases where it exceeds a couple $1,000s.
Right, and that doesn't include restoration of the land, right?
Yeah, but the King Ranch now, the fine that has been assessed against them, that they've been penalized with, is up there with, fines that they have given to the entire county of King County and other, there's Hanover type fine level things that they're talking about. And then you have the King Ranch, and you just have to ask yourself, what is the Department of Ecology trying to do here? Is that something that you guys can, I'm not asking you to admit guilt or anything like that, because I'm on your side. I don't think that you guys are at fault from what I've read. I hope the Department of Ecology doesn't get a dime from you. And in fact, if there's some way to make you guys whole for the hassle that you've gone through with all of this, I would be on board for that. But my question to you is, can you even afford to pay that fine if you end up having to pay it? And what would that mean for your farm?
Again, I'm just going to take that because I've said time and time again what the state's doing would bankrupt anyone. And so for the
millions of dollars, nobody can afford that. Yeah.
3.7 on restoration. And again, that's from our experts. So it's, a fairly conservative number. This is insane. Again, to demand what they've demanded without the right of a jury trial, it boggles the mind. It's not justice; it's injustice.
Is it the scope of the maintenance of these watering sources? Is that what they've got an issue with?
Again, we really don't know. They're making these accusations that all these damages occurred when Kings have been nothing but great stewards of this land. The things that they do are a net benefit for wildlife and livestock. So again, we can't understand their position. In every case you try. This one, we just can't. And we don't understand why they're pursuing it. We don't understand why this continues. It just is a mind-boggling case. We do have some theories, but they're just that. They're theories.
You got an issue right now. It's the Washington State that you've got an issue with, correct?
That is correct. It's Washington State.
And is there, if it doesn't go as you feel it should, is there federal relief that can come your way, or you have any avenues?
What's the next level if it doesn't go your way? How do you continue fighting this?
We would apply for cert to the U.S. Supreme Court.
Can you tell me, is this happening to a lot of, I can't imagine that the Kings are the only family that are, watering their livestock like this. Is there any other penalties for other ranchers similar to this?
So this seems to be the first one related to this, but we've had people reach out. Bob Grief, north of Spokane, he's being fined by Department of Ecology because he was watering the wrong piece of land. He's 86, and his father before him was the same. And then there's Chuck Rogers over on the coast facing the same type of a penalty for activities that are normal course activities. So we are hearing from people across Washington State that have been impacted by the lawfare that this state is doing.
Spike, you asked a good question when we were just talking about ramping up to get ready for this interview, but you were saying, is this a case of, what was your question again about?
Is this a case where a government in Western Washington really doesn't understand the lifestyle or the agricultural economy of Eastern Washington?
Absolutely.
But they've never gone after anyone, to our knowledge, like they have us on this whole stock watering issue. So I think they're trying to set precedent here. As far as your question, as far as they don't understand. Well,
I was naive, very naive in the beginning. I thought, well, all we have to do is just send a letter to the director of ecology and the commissioner of public lands, and we'll explain ourselves, and we'll sit down and we'll try to sit down and go over things here. We were completely rebuffed. We didn't even get a response. And it became clear to me after that, and furthermore, that there was an agenda. There's an agenda on there that they really want to take away our stock watering exemptions. They want to take our rights away from us.
What are stock watering exemptions? Could you explain that real quick?
Well, it's like I talked about 90-44-050. Ranchers and landowners have the right to dig and maintain a stock pond without a permit. That means they don't have to go to ecology for permission. And that's, we think, a big piece of this.
And this is, again, some of the disputed land is your own land. This is private property that you guys own. Is that right?
Yes.
What is the process? Can you just give us a very quick, brief explanation of the process? What are they asking you guys to do? Aside from the fine, what do they want you to actually go in and spend $3.7 million doing?
Restore. They want them to restore these alleged alkali wetlands. And again, our experts have been out there. They're not wetlands. They're not alkali wetlands. So it gets into this. We don't know. And we're not trying to be facetious. We literally don't know.
I also, as I was reading it, and I'm just a layperson, and I have not, I'm not a rancher.
But I've been to Eastern Washington, and I don't see a lot of wetlands.
Well, yeah. I mean, I live in Snohomish County. We get a lot of, I grew up in Snohomish. I'm around a lot of farmers, but I'm not a farmer myself. But when they're talking about restoring these wetlands, as they call them, in the article that I was reading, it talks about how it's thousands and thousands of years for these wetlands. So how are you guys supposed to establish that in $3.7 million worth of expenditures and a couple of months of pushing dirt around? What are they hoping you can accomplish?
Again, we're not trying to be facetious. We just don't know. And the problem, part of the issue here is the Kings have to go out and maintain these stock ponds so that they are wet. If you don't maintain them, they simply silt in and there is no water. So without a man or a woman or a landowner maintaining these stock ponds, there is no water for stock. There is no water for wildlife. So it's kind of, again, almost opposite of what should be looked at. What Kings have done is a net benefit. It allows for water for wildlife and stock. So this idea of restoration, when these things silt in on their own anyway, we really don't understand it. It's not comprehensible.
Isn't that unbelievable, Spike? If they were to do what the state is asking, the state wants to call them wetlands.
No, I get it. I'm
and they would cease to exist. They wanted to spend $3.7 million, so they cease to exist.
I'm so tempted to just have somebody from the other side come on and say, explain to me how something that would just dry up.
They're welcome to.
Are you
invited right now?
Are you expecting the Kings to keep this wetland going? If once it dries up and silts in, are they going to be then required to maintain it as a duck pond?
Head out there with a hose and fill it in.
That's just unbelievable.
Charlie Brown just keep moving the goalposts.
Yeah, we worry about that, the moving of the goalposts for sure, because again, the land. So this has been going on since 2021. So Kings have not been able to maintain the stock pond since then, and we're seeing it. We're literally seeing it with our own eyes. These alleged alkali wetlands are nothing but cracked earth, no water. We can see it.
How's that impacted your livestock?
They can't water there right now.
Well, I assume that, but I mean, are you losing your numbers? Are you having to?
I'm sure there's additional cost, all those things.
Yes, additional cost for sure. We are selling some cows. We have to. We just what they're doing to us is death by 1,000 cuts. I don't say this lightly, that there is, for people in government in particular, or just humans in general, when you have a choice between you either help your fellow man, or you basically do go out of your way to hurt your fellow man, in my opinion, that is evil. And that's what we're dealing with right here. We're dealing with people that have evil intentions.
Well, Teresa and Wade King and also Tony Meacham, thank you guys so much for joining us and laying this out. I hope that the Department of Ecology hears this. And just as a quick reminder to everybody, I believe it feels a little what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to be mean.
Critical, yeah, that's right.
But it does feel that way.
He wants to go deeper.
I was going to say something even worse, but no, it feels hypocritical. They're involved in a lawsuit right now. They're holding you guys, they say, accountable for this, but they're in a lawsuit right now because they're refusing to divulge numbers on whatever CO2 stuff that they claim they've now saved in the environment in the last 5 years or whatever that number is. Literally, they're being sued to release those numbers, which by law they're required to do. So I don't know how they can expect you guys to be clearing out wetlands or filling them in or whatever they're asking you to do. Well, at the same time, they're not observing the laws that they're supposed to be upholding as well. So I hope that you guys are successful, and that fine is a killer. So good luck, and let us know if there's any more that we can get out of the story.
Well, we would invite people to go to SaveKingRanch.com. We're trying to keep updates on the website. Also, if people would like to donate to help the Kings in this fight, you can do that there as well. But we are trying to keep people updated, and it's hard because this case moves and changes all the time. But that's the best place to go to get those updates, is SaveKingRanch.com.
Fantastic. All right, check them out there, and we really appreciate all you guys' time. Thank you.
Good luck with the fight, guys.
Yeah, good
Thank
luck.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
As a social influencer, my days can be busy. 4 a.m., I hit the gym. 4:32, protein smoothie. 5:08, save time and money bundling my home and auto insurance with Progressive. Wait, if I bundle and save time, what would I do then? Just sit here and reflect? Like, why am I qualified to influence anyone? And how those weights are hollow? And half of my followers are bots.
You could save time and money bundling your home and auto when you switch to Progressive. It's one less thing to worry about during your already busy day. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that could make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right, tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Charlie Harger here. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at low-cost retirement solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 206-210-1350. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at Cars4Kids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The Pentagon is making plans now to prepare for U.S. troops on the ground in Iran. This is according to sources within CBS News. National Security Consultant Jeff McCausland.
Well, one thing about this ground force operation is, as far as who would go with us, it would be by ourselves. And while we might be able to convince some of our allies, I do not think it's at all possible that any of our allies in the region or elsewhere would contribute ground forces for an operation like this.
In the Oval Office yesterday, President Trump told reporters he is not putting troops anywhere, and today the White House press secretary reaffirmed those comments, saying he's not planning to send ground forces, quote, anywhere at this time. For the Closing Bell Report, CBS News Radio is shutting its doors for good. The network shuttering as CBS News lays off 6% of its staff. Company says it comes down to money. CBS News Radio launched nearly 100 years ago. It'll go off air on May 22nd. Amazon is looking to build new smartphones after its Fire Phone flopped more than a decade ago. Here's KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery.
A new project called Transformer is in development, according to Reuters, aimed at creating a phone built around Alexa and artificial intelligence. The idea is to make buying from Amazon, watching Prime Video, and ordering food seamless throughout the day. The company is also reportedly looking at simpler dumb phone options, something like a second device for people who already have an iPhone or Samsung. No word yet on price or timing, and Reuters says the whole thing could still get scrapped. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Developers have a new vision for the site of the former Mulbach's Garden Center in Woodinville. Mayor Sarah Arntz highlighted affordable housing baked into the plan.
Overall, this development agreement represents a beneficial compromise for the city.
City Council is also on board approving plans for a 19-acre mixed-use development that includes a 200-room hotel. The popular Garden Center, Mulbach's, shut down in 2024. On Wall Street today, stocks lower as the price of oil continues to climb. The Dow lost 444, S&P down 100 points, NASDAQ down about 2%. It lost 443 points. Now to the real-time traffic center. Here's Nate Connors.
All righty. This one brought to us by Seattle Sports. Here in Seattle, North 5, we're packed approaching the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge. Nothing new, just a little earlier than usual, though. We're going to clear out for a bit through the heart of downtown. Plan on 25 minutes to get through this. South 5, you're slow from Northgate into downtown. Linwood to Seattle, less than a half hour. It's looking good between Seattle and Bellevue up into Everett. North 5 eventually jams up there at the Linwood interchange up past 164th. South 405 jams up at Southeast 8th and Bellevue through Factoria, and then you're going to thin out Bellevue to Renton. It'll take you a half hour. That's double the norm for this time of day. North 405, you're slow from South Center through the Renton S-curves. Tacoma to Olympia, we keep climbing, an hour and a 5-minute commute now. That's a 25-minute delay because of this 4-mile hefty backup through JBLM starting near Gravely Lake Drive. There's nothing in your way other than just cars. More slowing as you head into Olympia. And in Bellingham, North 5 closed in North Lake Samus Drive due to a mudslide. No estimated time to reopen. There's a solid 3 to 4 mile backup before you even get to the detour. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I'll see in a section of blue sky over the Olympic Mountains at this hour as the rain moves east and still hanging around the South Sound at this hour. A few showers for tomorrow, then drying out for the weekends. Right now looking at 55 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Every once in a while, actually it happens pretty often. It could be on X, at Jake Skorheim, or wherever. Sometimes on Instagram, people send me videos. They go, you got to watch this. It's great. And this one I wanted to highlight for you all because it just made me feel good about the Seahawks. And I think, Spike, you might have seen this clip as well. This is Jared versus Max Crosby.
Oh, talking about the Seahawks offensive line.
Talking
yes,
about the Seahawks O-line.
Yep.
And when you hear stuff like this, you just go, man, those Seahawks. Do you know what I watched yesterday, too, which was so much fun? On the Roku channel. This was made by NFL Films, and it's narrated by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who I didn't realize was a guy from here, but he's an actor, and he's from here.
Walking Dead guy, yeah.
Negan,
you bet, yeah.
Negan,
yeah,
from Walking Dead.
I knew he was a Seahawks fan.
He was also on, what's the doctor show? With on for like 40 years. It's still on.
Grey's Anatomy?
Grey's Anatomy. He played a...
Never seen an episode.
Really?
Never.
I think he played a guy in a coma or something. And then,
that's a hard acting job.
It is.
It is.
They gave him a few lines as a ghost.
Oh,
I'm not joking.
Seriously?
I think he played a ghost. Anyway, he's a guy who's from here, and he narrates this NFL Films Seahawks Super Bowl.
Is it just the Super Bowl run itself or the season?
It's the entire season. They take you through every single game. It's like an hour and a half. I watched it with my oldest son last night when my wife and a couple of my other sons were out doing stuff, and it was so much fun, and it got me really excited for Seahawks again. And when then I saw this clip and talking about how other teams see the O-line and they go, man, I don't want to mess with those guys. Listen to this.
I get Seattle this. I don't with them at all. Man, the second time we played them, I was about to whoop one of their O-linemen's ass. And all 5 of their ass came up from mine.
They were on me, bro.
Which is how O should respond. That's how they should respond. I love that shit. I was like, y'all, but like, I respect that.
That's so true though. When you can feel that like togetherness, definitely. And when they're not like that, like you try somebody or you smack the quarterback and the O-line just kind of looks I'm like, oh yeah, we got him.
Isn't that interesting?
Exactly.
Oh
my gosh.
But to see it from a competitive point of view, like they are watching to see weaknesses in the armor. And if they see that these guys have each other's backs, that makes them want to go like, all right, these guys are a unit, they're a team.
Exactly. And like he mentioned that, you smack the other team's quarterback around and the offensive line doesn't come to their defense.
Yeah.
That speaks to the teamwork this coaching staff has put together.
Yeah.
And the sense of community and family this coaching staff has put together. It wasn't that long ago the Seattle offensive line was deemed a weakness of this squad.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Buddy.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. All right, let's see a couple other sporting things that we thought would be fun to talk about. Oh, this was an interesting one. I saw this and I thought, like, we've talked about this and before, and gambling isn't everything now. I mean, There are stadiums that are named after gambling sites. There are arenas. There are like every time you watch a professional sport, no matter what it is, they have whatever the betting platform is that sponsors most of their stuff. And sports gambling, more than half of all men between the ages of 18 and whatever the age was when, I guess when people stopped gambling, but it's like 60.
Death.
Yeah, death.
I believe
it's like half of men between the ages of 18 and 60 have an online gambling
an account. Yeah, you bet. They
And
set
they're-
up a balance in their account and they use
Half.
it. Yeah.
That's a ton.
Do you remember when the league decided that fantasy sports, fantasy football in particular, but it's expanded to every other aspect.
Sure.
That gets people involved on a play-by-play basis. You finally care about the, a Cincinnati Cleveland game that you couldn't give a rat's patootie about, but you got their starting running back and you got their special team, their kicker, and you care. Well, now that's been monetized so that you can gamble on it. You can gamble on anything.
I wish
every game from your seat, from
everything,
your chair.
Everything.
That's
predictive markets, all these different
Right.
things. And
Well,
the reason we're bringing this up is
Yes.
Polymarket has just been announced as the official prediction market exchange partner, which is a different thing than a gambling site.
Well, that's a workaround, isn't it?
It's a workaround, yeah.
Wow.
They are the official exclusive prediction market exchange partner with the Major League Baseball. But yeah, you're totally right. I mean, you know what I think does more for making you enjoy the sport? Getting to know the player. Not like actually it's great when you get to know some pro athletes. Like in this job, sometimes we get to meet some of these guys.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
really
yeah.
cool. But like as an audience member, I know nothing. I did know nothing about F1 racing. I've told you this before.
Yeah,
Drive to Survive. If you watch that show and you watch how those teams are built and you watch all the characters, including the guys who are changing the tires, which is an athletic skill in itself. How do you change 4 tires in like a second?
Right.
They're doing it. If you watch these guys, you see those teams, you see the struggles, you see how they build those things up. By the time you sit down and watch F1 racing and you see these cars flying around at 240 miles an hour, not only do you appreciate the athletic talent that it takes for somebody to be able to steer a car at 240 miles an hour, but everything around them, you have a vested interest in seeing who wins now, and it's cool.
The pit crews in F1 have turned into basically like the ranch hands on Yellowstone.
100%.
Right?
Yeah. and
Secondary
now
characters, but you appreciate the work they do. They're
now you care
great.
about them. Like Hard Knocks for the NFL. The NFL, you watch Hard Knocks, and all of a sudden I care about the Chicago Bears in a way that I never did before because I'm watching them on Hard Knocks.
And it's funny because football is the one sport I would say maybe that you have less of a personal relationship with the periphery players.
Sure.
Because we're helmets.
You can't
And
see their
we can see a
faces.
guy go to the plate every other, every at bat in Major League Baseball, and you know what he looks like.
When you
And
see Cal coming up to the plate
Right,
or
you know.
crouching, well, he's not a good example because he's crouching behind his
when
cover.
you're talking about the Seahawks secondary, I love them. They gave me a fabulous year of cheering as a fan. I couldn't pick them out of a lineup, the guys, because they wear helmets. I don't know what they look like.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not dying the wool. Most true deep 12s can tell you.
Yeah, sure.
But I know what Sam Darnold looks like.
I know the big ones.
Right.
I mean,
know
they're all
Cooper
big.
Kupp,
But like,
I know what JSN looks like, but I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you what.
How many guys they had? 60 guys standing on the side?
Well, yeah, 73 if you count the travel squad and the Bobo and the.
So if you look at all those guys, like
practice squad.
you can't pick the majority out of them if you walk by them in the street, except that they're probably giants, so you could have some guess.
Well, remember Super Bowl week? Luke Ducey goes down to Super Bowl week.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I don't know who this guy is, but he's 7 foot tall and weighs 330 pounds.
Yeah, he just puts a mic in his face. He goes, "Who are you?"
Right?
He didn't even ask who he was. He just goes, "Tell us about stuff."
Right. It turns out he's a starting left tackle for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Excellent reporting from Luke Ducey.
Working $7 million a year, something like that.
All right,
but gambling's what gives us that tie-in.
Yes.
We got interest. We got literally skin in the game.
Yes.
Right, and the prediction market. It's the loophole around organized gambling because you're predicting. So they should make a parlay. I'm gonna have in the prediction market. If I lose $1,000 on the prediction of this game, I'm gonna get divorced. I'm gonna parlay losing $1,000 with getting divorced.
Do you have to gamble on a divorce?
No,
you can directly affect the outcome of that. So then you're going to pick up an advantage. Now you're incentivizing divorce, which I don't want to do.
I just think the two go so naturally together.
Yeah.
Losing everything.
Oh, I see what
gambling,
you're saying. As a
and then
result
getting-
of my poor gambling,
I'm going to get divorced.
you will get divorced.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
The inevitability. But you're right, though. I could kind of force
But then
it.
you're putting a lot on that team. Like
It's
your
'cause-
marriage on that team.
Well, if I bet $1,000 on the game, but $10,000 I'm going to get divorced, I can guarantee a win here.
You're right.
Right? So
But you lose in life, but you will make more money.
Some people would see it that way. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
the top comment on this one is put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. On this story that I saw. It's different. Pete Rose's whole thing, like if you really want to get into it, he was doing a different thing.
Yeah.
Most people gambling these days, you're not affecting the outcome of that game.
That was the thing.
There is a discussion about whether or not he's able to affect the outcome of a game.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. Who knows? It's a tricky gray area, but it's becoming less and less gray as they've introduced all of these
more and more green.
Yeah,
what's coming.
Yeah, it's just cash. It's all about cash. And then finally, very quickly before we run out of break here, World Baseball Classic, which just recently finished up.
Yeah.
Venezuela beat Team USA. Very sweet, actually, because we get to see Gino one more time.
Yeah.
Eugenio, what made this team so special? The union. We are together the whole time. We're not just teammates.
He plays for Venezuela, obviously.
Family. This team is awesome. We are family here. That's why we play with passion, with love, because we feel the jersey. We feel our country in front of us. That's why this is a lot for us as players, as a people, as a human beings, and as a Venezuela. Now we are the champion. Eugenio, congratulations. Thank you.
Pretty cool for them.
Is it wrong for me to say that the Hispanic players do have a higher level of passion for the game maybe than the American team showed?
They're a fiery, passionate people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
dancing and music and
they've got it
sport
all.
and love.
Food. Their food is hotter than our food. The reason we bring this up is the World Baseball Classic got higher ratings than the NBA Finals.
I was not saying really, but you know
crazy?
what?
10.8 million viewers for that. NBA Finals, 10.2.
Wow.
Now, NBA Finals does have 7 games, but whatever. Still, NBA Finals, less viewers per game.
I'm not surprised. It was a great little tournament.
People love baseball.
Tournament.
They love it. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert, or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart. Just complete the purchase. Hurry! This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Progressive presents a guided meditation.
Hear the birds sing. A chipmunk nibbling on an acorn. Smell the pine needles gently falling into your living room as the breeze blows through the gaping hole in your roof. Gaze up at that broken tree branch and relax, because you bundled your home and auto with Progressive and have the peace of mind of 24/7 protection. So relaxing.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
There's no championship league for small business owners. But if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation. One-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Parango and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Do you like helping others? Become a Shiva volunteer. In Pierce County, join the hundreds of volunteers across Washington state who help over 90,000 people each year with their Medicare options and questions. You don't have to know Medicare. We'll teach you. And if you're bilingual, even better. For more information and how to apply, call Shiva at 1-800-562-6900 or go to insurance.wa.gov.
Sponsored by the Office of the Insurance Commissioner and aired by the Washington State Association of Broadcasters and this station.
File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. TurboTax helps you get your biggest refund, and then Credit Karma helps you do more with it. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Compassion, communication, results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com. That's pendergastlaw.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. March Madness happening. This is such a great time of year. It's so much fun. Are you watching? I'm just watching games all the time. Watching colleges I've never even heard of.
Right.
I don't even know them. I'm
the best ones.
I'm a huge High Point University fan now. I didn't even know they existed before yesterday. Now I know a ton about them. Private Methodist University in North Carolina. Costs about $70,000 a year to attend.
You really got into High Point.
I know it, yeah. 73 undergraduate majors, 70 minors.
They beat Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, yeah. They've got cheese. That's pretty much all they've got. High Point is the #1 best-run school as recognized by the Princeton Review. Did you realize that? 2 years in a row.
High Point?
High Point.
I didn't know where it was.
So if you want your kid to get a job, they have a 99.2% success rate at achieving employment shortly after graduating.
Well, those kind of stats, you know, you can monkey
but
with
it could
stats.
be at Starbucks.
Right.
Who knows?
In their educated field. Does it say that anywhere in there?
It does not say that.
Well, okay.
No, absolutely not.
You got an art history degree.
They would never make that promise.
You got an art history degree. What do you want on your pizza?
Yeah. Art. I'm going to play you some audio here. This is the student radio calling High Point's win over Wisconsin. Now, High Point was, what are they, number 11? Was it an 11-5 matchup?
They were 11-12. They were 12.
Okay.
5-12 seed, right?
5-12. There you go.
The seeds always add up to 17. That's how you know.
Oh, there you go.
17.
11-5 wouldn't make sense.
Right.
All right,
one plays 16.
12-5. This is High Point, who ends up winning the game, and this is their student radio announcers just freaking out. And this is why March Madness is so much fun.
Throw on the glasses!
He was.
What a feeling.
He was working on that.
My God.
We will see you in the round of 32.
Oh, and then we will see you later because you're going to be taking on Arkansas.
Yeah. This is
That's
fun.
That's adorable.
Did you see how many brackets? Did you fill out a bracket? I didn't fill out a bracket.
I
this
didn't
year.
for the first time maybe in forever. The last couple I've done is I've kind of just chalked it in.
Me too.
Pick the higher seeds.
Well, and a lot of times they do like the autofill feature. I'll do
They
like
do that?
5 or 6 and I'll autofill.
Okay.
I'll autofill at least most of like one of them I'll try to do my due diligence and pick some teams that I actually know, but mostly I just autofill. But it's not gambling, but it's like gambling. You have a little vested interest now in which team
it's
wins.
More about bragging rights
Yes.
around the office
100%.
here, officially for bosses.
Listen to some of these numbers. This is crazy. 36 million brackets were submitted.
36 million
36 million brackets were submitted. And after the first day, there was only 6,000 brackets left that had the potential to be perfect. And probably that's all gone now today, I would imagine. I can't imagine
Never been a
anybody else.
perfect bracket. There's never been a perfect bracket.
There's always a prize, too. Right. There's always like some sign up where you can go, and if you fill out a perfect bracket, you're going to get $1 million.
Right? That's ESPN does, I think that. Or the ESPN does. I think it's like a somebody's got $1 billion prize out there for a perfect bracket.
Shut.
For a perfect bracket, $1 billion prize.
What
the
kind
the highest scoring bracket, which means how many predictions you got right, gets $1 million.
Jeez. How do you, because they buy insurance for things like that, companies do?
Sure.
So anytime you go to the halftime, I remember when I was in the NBA, people don't know, as a ball boy, but when I was in the NBA at halftimes when they would do the 3-point shots.
Sure, yeah, for $1 million.
They do like a half-court 3-point free throw and then a lay-in, and it started like $50,000, $25,000, $10,000, $5,000. And if you made that half-court shot for whatever the amount was, $50,000 or $100,000, they had to buy insurance on that, and then the insurance company would just pay it.
Picks it up, sure.
I just assumed that they were so flush with cash that they would just give these people the money, but they would often and I'm not saying the Sonics did this, but I have seen places where some guy steps a tiny bit over the line, and they're not going to pay him because he's got a foot on the line. And I feel like at that point, for goodwill, it's just better for you for PR. Just pay the guy.
Yeah, I think you're right. But if you've got insurance companies, they've got responsibility.
But the insurance companies
fiduciary responsibilities to their stockholders, make sure they're not paying out errant claims.
Well, you're right about that too. Yeah. You're right about
Still
that.
make some schmucks, but it's the rules. It's the law.
This is, and we got to go here in just a second. But this is another post I saw about this. There was a game today. There was 2 teams out of Arizona. Is that right? Did you see this?
What happened today?
The Arizona one. You showed me this.
Oh,
What was this?
It was the T-Bowl, the Iced Tea Bowl.
The Iced Tea Bowl.
Because it was Arizona playing Long Island.
Oh, yeah. Long Island.
Yeah, the Arizona Iced Teas, 99 cents forever, or the Long Island Iced Teas. And Arizona's like a 1 seed. They're picked to win the entire tournament.
I think they were uphandedly.
Apparently the Long Island Iced Teas, after a couple drinks, they couldn't reach the foul line anymore. They won by almost 34 points.
Arizona did.
Arizona smoked them.
Yeah. Lots of fun. So obviously,
we love
you guys are
upsets.
enjoying it.
We love Cinderella.
Oh, it's the best.
So
go High Point. All right, we got a lot more coming up. When we come back, we got our Friday favorites. So we're going to look back on all the stuff we did this week, and we're going to each pick what our favorite stories were, and that's a fun time. And then at 2:30, you're not going to want to miss this. I found a new show on Netflix. It's like a dating show, but I've never seen this concept done before. They have figured out a new way to do a dating show, and it looks just so uncomfortable and so horrible and great for all those reasons. Like exactly what you want to watch. Yes.
And you're hooked, aren't you?
And I'm hooked.
It's great.
At least on the trailer. I haven't watched the actual show yet, but we'll hear the trailer together. All right. All that and much more. Stick around.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Aetna was there for me as I was going through a rough medical patch this year. I had peace of mind, which helped with my healing.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with the latest in online tools for easier access to healthcare. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nia Hurd-Garris with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. As parents, we want our children to grow up healthy and strong. That means helping teens take responsibility for their health as they become young adults. One way to do that is to make sure they have one-on-one time with their pediatrician. That helps them become comfortable talking about any health issue with their doctors and with you. So make sure to give your teen a voice. It's good for their health. For more on teen health, visit healthychildren.org.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Major financial decisions deserve education, not pressure. Madrona Financial and CPAs host live seminars and online webinars throughout the year to help you make informed, confident choices. Their tax return treasure hunt discusses how to uncover planning opportunities potentially hidden inside your own tax return. Growing Her Wealth addresses the financial transitions many women face and how to prepare for them thoughtfully and confidently. 7 steps to a successful retirement. Well, this one outlines a practical framework for building income strategies intended to support retirement spending needs. And Landlord Exit Strategies takes a clear look at whether holding, selling, or restructuring your rental properties makes sense long term. You can attend in person or join online from home. To see the full schedule, visit madronafinancial.com or call 833-673-7373.
This is a paid advertisement. Investments involve risk. See full disclosures at madronafinancial.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump says no to a ceasefire with Iran. CBS's Linda Kenyon reports from the White House.
The president says yes to dialogue, but no to a ceasefire.
You know, you don't do a ceasefire when you're literally obliterating the other side.
Speaking to reporters before heading off to Florida for the weekend, the president said Iran is not in a position of strength.
They don't have a Navy. They don't have an Air Force. They don't have any equipment. They don't have any spotters. They don't have anti-aircraft. They don't have radar, and their leaders have all been killed.
Earlier this week, the president said he would not put troops on the ground in Iran, although the Pentagon is sending 2,500 Marines to the Middle East. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Hawaii flooding prompts evacuation orders for more than 4,000 people downstream of a dam that a spokesperson with the Oahu mayor's office says is at imminent risk to fail. Hawaii Governor Josh Green.
Some of the land was scarred by the Maui wildfire, and if that rain hits there, we'll also see quick surges. That's why when we're talking about flash flood warnings, we're very serious.
Dam levels have been high since a storm last week dumped heavy rain across the state. There's help out there for struggling TSA employees who cannot feed their families. CBS's Allison Keyes reports.
World Central Kitchen is helping to feed TSA agents working without pay in several cities. And Naomi Germain at the nonprofit says they've served more than 11,000 meals over the past 6 days.
So we'll be here still supporting until they can get back on their feet. We don't just get up and leave.
The number of TSA workers calling in sick or quitting has meant stress and worry for passengers standing in security lines for hours in the midst of the spring break season. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
The martial arts grandmaster and action star Chuck Norris has died.
You want to do it the easy way or the hard way?
Syracuse University pop culture professor Robert Thompson.
Chuck Norris was always this really serious
martial arts guy and really serious about often serious subjects. The movie's about rescuing POWs and all of that kind of thing.
The Walker Texas Ranger star was 86. His family has not released details about his death, except to say it was sudden. CBS's Mark Strassman is at Kennedy Space Center, where he says the Artemis II rocket is back on its launch pad again.
This mission will be the first time this rocket or this capsule has ever flown astronauts. Over 10 days, 3 Americans and 1 Canadian will fly around the moon and back. The astronauts entered quarantine on Wednesday. They'll fly here to Florida next Friday for 6 launch possibilities in early April, starting with April 1st.
This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at jtv.com.
Rising gas prices hit the farmland. That's after Nate Connors at the Real Time Traffic Desk.
Thanks, Aaron. The Emerald Queen Casino has the update. Renton, we've got a crash. South 405 and Northeast 44th is blocking your left general purpose lane, adding to our solid backup starting near Southeast 8th there in Bellevue. So Bellevue to Renton, we're up at 40 minutes. That's a 20-minute delay. North 405 continues to slow from South Center through the Renton S-curves, just under 25 minutes from South Center into Bellevue. Here in Seattle, it's 25 minutes to get yourself through downtown on North 5. Backups starting just before the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal. If after the Ship Canal, though, it's wide open all the way up to that Linwood interchange. South 5 off and on slowing from Northgate into downtown. Linwood to Seattle has about a 5-minute delay right now. Seattle to Federal Way, a half hour. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeways at 40 minutes. And Tacoma to Olympia has improved to 50 minutes, about a 10-minute delay. Still looking at a 4-mile backup through JBLM that starts near Thorn Lane. Get ready to be transported back to the golden era of rock. It's John Waite with John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band live at the Emerald Queen Casino April 9th. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Gas prices climbing again, jumping about 25 cents in just the past week. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports the higher prices could soon drive a lot of farmers in our states out of business.
Farmers are still feeling the impact of tariffs and labor shortages from last year, with losses across Washington's agriculture industry now estimated at around $400 million. Dylan Honkoop with Save Family Farms tells me gas prices could drive many farms to the brink of disaster.
The costs keep stacking up, and they have to decide how much longer can we keep doing this, and will this be the one that finally ends our family's legacy after potentially many generations.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
From rising gas prices to rising rivers, major flooding expected across several waterways today. That includes the Snohomish River near Monroe and the city of Snohomish, both areas under a flood warning. Stretch of the Skagit River near Concrete could also overflow tonight. And same for the Snoqualmie River near Carnation, all those areas under flood watches or warnings. If you're sick of Lime scooters on the sidewalk, AI-powered enforcement is coming to Seattle. KIRO News Radio's John Repp explains.
In theory, you should only ride that Lime scooter on the street. In reality, Downtown Seattle Association's John Scholes joked that out of the 10 million Lime trips last year...
Didn't it feel like to you that 9 million of those were taken on the sidewalk?
But if you're sick of sidewalk scofflaws, Lime says it will introduce Lime Vision later this year. AI-powered cameras keeping an eye on your scooter driving.
Cameras, sensors that can tell the difference between a sidewalk and the street bed.
Lime Vision is coming to half of Seattle's fleet by June, with the rest phased in by the end of the year. John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
The Gonzaga men are off to a strong start in March Madness after beating Kennesaw State last night. KIRO 7 TV caught up with fans after the Bulldogs' victory.
Go Gonzaga! We know that we're going to finish the season strong. This is when we shine. It always goes January, February, Gonzaga, April, and that's how the months run.
Zags will face the number 11 seed Texas on Saturday. Meantime, the Husky women, they won today 72-54 over South Dakota State. Now to your weather update. We are looking at some increasing blue skies over Elliott Bay at this hour, as much of the showers are right now over the mountains and the South Sound. We will dry out starting tomorrow, and the drying trend continues into early next week. Right now, 55 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. If you guys want to get in on the conversation, you can text us at the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. Now we're going to look back. Fridays at 2 o'clock, we always do our Friday favorites and reflect on some of our favorite stories of the week, which is kind of fun. Laura, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, and actually I'm choosing this one because I am trying to edit the video to put this on social media so everyone can experience this moment with us. When Spike was almost shot. I keep accidentally saying shot. You were not shot.
I was not shot.
You were nearly shot. A weapon was brandished upon you.
And pointed at me.
What a scary experience. Is there audio of this?
Well,
or are we just talking about it?
No, here's the good. I inadvertently dropped the name of my friend while retelling the story, and we had to use the delay button because I didn't want to out this nice gentleman.
Sure.
Because according to one of the texters,
nearly killing you.
One of the texters said, I want you to point out that it's not you can't just shoot somebody for being in your driveway. Blah 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 blah.
Well,
and I don't know about the legality of it, and I'm not going to purse.
If
Thank goodness it won't come to that.
If somebody's he thought it was on his private property. He assumed that you were breaking into and vandalizing his private property.
And there's been issues in the past with a neighbor who's fighting addiction.
To defend himself.
So to recap the story, I made a stupid move. My wife and I have a couple of dear friends, and my wife's got this fun little thing she does where we put ducks on our friend's Jeep, little rubber ducks.
Doesn't sound like she's doing it.
How long you been married?
Yeah.
My wife does this thing that I get to do.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, through a bad judgment on my own part, I forgot to do it on the day designated, and had to sneak back and do it the next day. And since it was late at night, at 10:30 at night, I creep onto my neighbor's property in the dark and in the rain, wearing a hoodie, and walk up and put something on the front of his Jeep. And as I'm leaving, I hear a scream of profanity and the opening of a car door and the barrel of a gun pointed right at me. Because my buddy, who has been dealing, as I mentioned, with some property damage and some attempted theft or vandalism from a neighbor with an addiction problem.
So scary.
Is out there sitting in his car having to protect his home and his property from a bad neighbor, and he sees me creeping around like an idiot in the rain in a hoodie.
Yeah.
And I'm, hands up, don't shoot, And we kind of looked at each other and just our jaws dropped and we both didn't say anything. We just hugged for a moment.
So
then we laughed and we hugged again.
Per the text messages about him not being legally allowed to shoot you, it is a tricky gray area.
If
he believes that he is in physical harm, he is allowed to defend himself. Generally, he's not, like, let's say that he saw you drive, if you're fleeing.
Right.
But in that case, you were pushing in closer to his house.
I was approaching. Like I said, he was in the car between me and the one I ducked.
Yeah.
And I was, at that time when I was coming toward the car he was sitting in.
Yeah.
And he literally threw the door open, stood up and pointed.
You're very, very fortunate.
I'm very, very fortunate.
Because,
Plus, if he'd have shot me, he wouldn't have been able to come to my funeral. He'd been tied up in court.
That's true.
That would have sucked.
Which would have been really awful. Yeah. And aside from the fact, he would have, in that case, killed his friend.
Yeah.
Who was just trying to drop off a duck.
Right.
That would have been the worst part. You fall to the ground, and then the duck kind of bounces to his feet, and he goes, "Oh no! It's just a
duck. Yeah, now there's blood on it. Oh no!" But it's funny because the follow up on this was that next morning I get a text from my friend. He says, "Hey, look, man, my wife really loves that you guys do this. She really looks forward to seeing them when they pop up. So please keep doing it.
Please." Don't take this the wrong way. I didn't mean to almost kill you.
Right. And then last night at bedtime, hey, I'll be in the car tonight from like 9:30 to 11 if you want to come by.
I also think he needs to work on his surveillance, security.
Yeah.
If he has to sit in his car, that's not a good sign.
No, this, like I said, it's been an ongoing problem with this neighbor. They've got cameras.
Yeah.
They've got,
It sounds like they're armed to the teeth, which is good.
Yeah.
Now that people know, that's good. Keep them out of there.
Yeah, but that was
You should put up a sign. You should put up a sign with like a little friendly duck picture on it. Like, if you come onto this property for any reason, we have the right to defend ourselves.
Yeah.
Even if you're just placing a duck.
Yeah. This property protected by a heavily armed duck.
By a heavily armed duck.
Sure.
All right.
Anyway, thank you, Laura, for picking that. I appreciate that.
You came in and you said, so, last night,
Yeah.
I was almost shot.
I just assumed that you were almost like jumped by a person who was trying to rob you.
Oh, like mugged.
Yeah, mugged.
Yeah.
Or shots were fired in a street altercation that I was in. And somebody, my kid works up on Capitol Hill as a bar manager.
Yeah.
And there was a shooting that shot out the front windows. My kid's ducking behind the bar, while shots ring through the establishment from a street altercation.
How do you do that as a parent? Quit that job.
Yeah.
Don't you want to say just quit the job and find something else?
Yeah, you do. Of course you do.
You got bullets flying through windows? That's awful. Oh my gosh. There's got to be something around here. We're hiring. Safe around here?
Yeah, Knockwood. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
It's crazy. All right, Spike, what is your and so people can see that. We'll post that on the different social media stuff once it's done. But
so we had a story earlier in the week about a woman who was fat shamed by Southwest
this
Airlines.
Is a great story.
Yeah, this lady is a frequent Southwest flyer, a loyal customer, and she professed to be. Laura, I'm not sure if you still have her story. We can play a little clip of her, but if not, I can gladly tell you her tale. She approaches the gate to for the 8th time, I think she said, you got it? Go play a little bit of her, yeah.
And I said this out loud to her. I go, wait, do you mean like an extra seat? And she goes, yeah. And I go, oh, no, I don't need an extra seat. And I am bigger. I'm a bigger girl, okay? I'm plus size, whatever. Overweight, fat, whatever you want to call it, okay? I said, oh, no, I'm good. I have flown Southwest. I think I flew them 8 times last year. This has never been a thing, okay? And I go, oh, no, I'm good. And I go, oh, wait, are you saying I need an extra seat because I'm bigger? And she goes, it's for the safety and comfort of other passengers. And I was like, I was just kind of like taken aback. Mostly because what is the process for you deciding that? Just looking at me? You have no clue if I can fit in the seat or not. So I say, no, I'm okay. Thank you though. So then she doubles down and she tells me that no, I will have to get a extra seat to get on this flight. She goes, can you put the armrest down and not have it pop up? And I was like, yes. And she goes, well, it's for the safety and the comfort of our customers. My best friend is sitting right next to me. I'm next to a window. My best friend doesn't care about my thigh heat, okay? She's fine. We're fine. I also had to pay $176. I was in a different zone. So Southwest now has zones.
Deal,
and so originally I was in like zone 1 or 2 for the upgraded seat that I had paid for to be by the window. And now I'm in the back of the plane. So I sit down, put the armrest down, put my seatbelt on. I fit in the seat. I took pictures. I've sent in my complaint to Southwest.
Yeah, the peripherals of this story were just upsetting because, people in America are getting bigger. Hard to deny the trend. Seats on airplanes are getting smaller. Impossible to deny that trend.
Yeah.
And they're charging
People are getting bigger, seats are getting smaller.
Yeah, I mean,
they're both going in.
We were headed toward this.
They're heading for a fight at the OK Corral.
Right. And nowadays, I mean, they tell you what your luggage can weigh. If you have overage, they weigh your luggage. If it's overage, there's a fee.
Yeah.
They made this poor woman buy a second seat right at the gate. They argued whether, and this is, I could see both sides of this issue. Yeah. If I'm in the middle of a seat, I don't want a bigger passenger next to me. Who's with full, I'm in contact with a bigger passenger.
She lost me at thigh heat, really, when she was talking about thigh heat.
Well,
the fact that she's familiar with that term, I would just go, the tough part about this is Southwest is not trying to be a jerk. Right? They're not trying to be mean.
No,
they have to watch out for their customers.
They're looking up. There's 300 people on a plane, 299. I mean, I want to sit next to our friend here.
If you have to come up with something called encroachment on these planes, which is when they talk about the armrest not being able to close down.
Can it be able to come down? Because I've sat next to people who can't put the armrest down. I've sat next to people like that on a plane.
And aren't you looking around like, hey,
hey, whomever airline, miss.
Yeah. Can I please move to another seat? And they go, oh, I'm sorry, sir. All the seats are full. Well, first class doesn't seem full. You didn't pay for first class.
Right. Well, I paid for a seat and I can't access the entirety of the seat. I can argue both sides of this.
Yeah.
I feel for this woman. She's the victim of an industry that is contracting what they sell us for a rising cost every day.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Shrinking size of the seats. Maybe a little bit.
You know, they made her buy a day of ticket at the price of a day of ticket.
That's far lower than I thought it would be. I always think of day of tickets. Like if you showed up to SeaTac today,
$900.
Yeah, $1,000 for a seat.
Right.
So 176.
And they would
ended
offer
up being an ad for Southwest.
And they would offer a refund to her if the flight wasn't sold out.
Yeah.
But if it was, and they could have got somebody else's money if she didn't have to buy for her extra size.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the peripherals or the different details of the story just are. And we talked about it that day. It's like, are we going to get to a point where they weigh passengers?
Yes.
And charge us by the pound?
Yes.
Like they do our luggage?
100%. They have to. Yeah.
You know, which made me think as we did this.
I don't necessarily want them.
I don't want them to, but you know, you want a big scale above that. You think fat shaming at the gate because they make you buy a second seat hurts? How about a big scale?
I bet you people would lose weight.
Maybe.
If you have to walk through a plane door and everybody has to see your weight.
It's funny that I don't think they could put it above your head. That would be just. There'd be a lawsuit there.
And it's visual,
but it would be
like a
the
happy
people
face
behind you.
one, kind of like a sad face one. That'd be awful.
You know how they have that frame that your luggage has to fit in?
Oh no!
Right? You know where I'm going?
Perfect fix for this.
Right.
There is an example seat out in there in the public.
That's right.
And they say, "Why don't you have a seat?
Have a seat, ma'am.
Test it out
you can
right
tell
there.
me right here, right now." That's what I was thinking.
That's perfect.
Or a narrow walkway that you have to get to the counter. And if you can't walk up to the counter between this guide, then clearly you can't. You're going to need more than just our standard seat.
These are all, obvious ideas.
Yeah,
I think these would work. I feel bad for this. Obviously, you don't want anybody.
Sure.
She's essentially being called fat.
Yeah.
Which is not a good name to call anyone.
She's being charged a higher fee.
She's being charged a higher fee, but if you're taking up extra seats, then that makes sense to me. But I actually feel bad for the airline. Somebody had to sit there, and it's their policy now. They have to ask people. Like, can you imagine how awkward that would be? You have to have a real gentle touch. I mean, you talk about like a doctor, like bedside manner.
Yeah.
Think about somebody who's standing at a gate. Like flying is already very frustrating for people. Tensions are already very high. And then you're eyeing somebody at Southwest as they're waiting. And do they do zones, or how does Southwest do that?
They stopped doing zones.
Okay.
They
so now they're doing
zone assigned seats. Yeah.
Okay. Which I guess makes sense because this happened in an assigned seat. So you're seeing somebody who's coming up to the gate and you recognize.
You
can tell by somebody's size. I mean, if you have eyeballs, and you can tell if somebody looks a little larger than somebody else, so that's not crazy. And then you have to figure out, like, how do I have a private, very awkward conversation where you're essentially calling somebody large and forcing them to spend money they don't want to spend. That's a tough situation for everybody.
Right, and they're going to react horribly. Maybe they're most likely going to react horribly at the gate.
Unless somebody's very gracious and they go, "Oh my gosh, yes, of course." Like, I don't want thigh heat taken on anybody else, and it's already very uncomfortable on planes. But I don't think that's what's happening. All right, that's a crazy story.
Yeah,
I like that one. That's a good one. Good pick. All right, here's mine. Kathy Hochul. This is interesting. So she's the governor of New York. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because we've been talking a lot about income tax stuff recently.
Yeah.
And what it's going to do to people. Is it going to scare people out of the state? Are people going to be moving? And we're seeing some of that already now that we've, started the adoption of this income tax conversation.
The last few weeks have been littered with stories of billionaires leaving the city, millionaires moving companies,
and not just
companies looking out of town.
Not just the uber wealthy.
Right.
Business owners of companies that employ a lot of people that are now just looking at other places to do business.
And you keep saying the examples are everywhere. How can we keep ignoring these examples?
Yes.
And then the governor of New York.
The two states, unfortunately, Washington kind of looks at politically and says, we're them. We're exactly like them, is in my opinion. And it's because, like, whatever. There's a lot of stuff about politics that we disagree on, but I don't really care about, like, on a personal level. It's the bad policy that really bugs me. So it's the things that make life more expensive and less affordable for folks, which we see you look at a state like California, you look at a state like Washington, and you look at Alabama, which one of those is less expensive to live in? I mean, those are like kind of easy questions to answer. Yeah. So Washington is following in California's footsteps and also in New York's footsteps in that they are chasing wealth out of the state, I believe, with this income tax stuff. So Kathy Hochul, she's the governor of New York. She was elected in 22. Is that right? November 22?
I think it sounds right, yeah.
So she's elected November 22. Within a couple of years, she is asking people to come back. And I'm going to play you two clips. This was her just a week ago. This is her, and we played this on the show, so I'm going to play this again. This is her basically saying, hey, if you moved out of New York and you're a high net worth individual, you should come back because we'd like to be very generous with your money and we need it. And you're in Florida, so please come back.
And being conscious of the facts that I need people who are high net worth to support the generous social programs that we want to have in our state. Right? Now, there are some patriotic millionaires who stepped up. Okay, cut me the checks. I mean, just if you want to be supportive, but maybe the first step should be go down to Palm Beach and see who you can bring back home, because our tax base has been eroded. So I philosophically don't have a problem. It is like I have to look at the fact that we are in competition with other states who have less of a tax burden on their corporations and their individuals. And I would say remote work changed everything. There were people who could only work in an office in Manhattan or work in New York State, and they were captives to our state. They were going to stay. We've saw that that's not the case. I mean, Wall Street, businesses looking at Texas, they're not going there because they have a nicer governor. I know that for sure. But they're going there because of the tax rate. We have to be smart about this. But we can fund what we want to fund with what we already are taking in.
So this clip kind of went viral.
Yeah.
It was going around the internet. Somebody posted this. They said, hey, you know what? Right after she was elected, she was pretty free and easy in her speeches telling people to leave. And guess where she told them they should go?
And we're here to say that the era of Trump and Zeldin and Molinaro, just jump on a bus and head down to Florida where you belong, okay? Get out of town. Get out of town. Because you don't represent our values. You are not New Yorkers.
We would like the money back, please. So
yeah, if you could leave your money, but go.
If you could leave a generous check, we'd like to be generous with your money while you're gone, in your absence, please. The whole thing is crazy, and you can make a lot of good faith arguments that you and I might disagree with each other on a lot of things, but it cannot be denied that the tax policy that Washington is on the verge of stepping into, Seattle will be the highest taxed city in the nation with an effective state and local taxes of 18%. And when you tack on all the federal stuff, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
And if you don't think that that's going to chase people away, then you're not watching New York and you're not watching California. And if you talk to anybody who used to live in those states, they'll tell you exactly why they decided to leave. The other thing about Washington, too, and I know we got to go here, New York has a ton of stuff. There's a lot of reasons to be in New York. California has amazing weather. There's a lot of reasons to want to be in California.
Sure.
And even those places are losing because of taxes. Washington's all right for 3 months. We get beautiful weather for 3 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we don't have the city that New York has, and we don't have the weather that California has. So I think the odds of somebody deciding to leave are even greater.
I don't know. I think we offer so much more than weather up here, and I think we've got much more attractive.
What do we offer better in New York or L.A.?
Clean air, mountains, variety of geography.
California. Have you been to Yosemite National Park?
Sure,
gorgeous.
Yeah, a corner of it, yeah. But in general, I think Washington's a better place to live than New York or California. I think.
Well, you might be right.
That's just me.
You might be right.
You know, I heard. By the way, I heard a professor from Cornell University.
It's pronounced Colonel.
Colonel.
Just kidding.
Because you've been making these points about the high earners leaving, and the governor of New York agrees with you, even to the point of begging him to come back. 98% of millionaires don't move.
98% of millionaires
don't move when taxes are increased. He brought up like 4 different states who have done this.
Really?
Yeah, 90. He said, I get the big names move, the big earners move, you lose tax base. 98% of millionaires who qualify for these higher tax brackets do not move when these are implemented. I'll locate the study and send it. I will.
Send it to me.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Right? Because the marquee names, I get it. Tax base loss, I get it. You're not wrong. But 90% of them don't move.
Well, I guess Washington won't have any problems then. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group. KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
See country star Aaron Lewis and the State Liners at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, March 24th at 8 p.m. And now an added show on March 25th. He's a multi-platinum artist whose raw lyrics and powerhouse vocals have captivated fans for decades. Now he and his band, the State Liners, are coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Get your tickets now to see Aaron Lewis at muckleshootcasino.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that could make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right, tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Charlie Harger here. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 206-210-1350. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
Gray whales are back in the Salish Sea. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds. Don't miss Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Asked about a ceasefire with Iran, President Trump says no.
Well, look, we can have dialogue, but I don't want to do a ceasefire. You know, you don't do a ceasefire when you're literally obliterating the other side.
More U.S. service members are on the way to the Middle East as the war nears the 3-week mark now. CBS's Natalie Brand has more.
Iran launched a new wave of missiles overnight. Among the targets, another major oil refinery in Kuwait. The attacks come as President Trump touted the success of the U.S. operation.
We are doing really well. We're not going to let them have nuclear weapons.
Speaking during a trophy presentation for the U.S. Navy football team at the White House Friday, the president said most of Iran's leadership is gone.
One person is dead after a confrontation overnight with police in Everett. Police say an officer on patrol heard gunshots around 2:30 this morning. Mandy Kruger with Arlington PD says they found a man firing into the air along 7th Avenue Southeast.
The individual advanced towards officers. Multiple tasers were deployed, and when the individual continued to approach, officers with Everett Police and the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office discharged their firearms.
A man later died at a hospital. No officers were hurt. The Green Hill School in Chehalis says it's removed a staff member who's accused of misconduct. The juvenile facility says it follows an internal investigation that has now been turned over to police and CPS. The investigation started on March 11th following a tip. The staffer was let go on March 13th. No word yet on the alleged misconduct. We have reached out to Chehalis PD to learn more. You will no longer be hearing CBS News Radio at the top of the hour. Starting May 22nd, the network is shutting down for good. This is a financial decision. Former Seattle's Morning News host Dave Ross freelanced at CBS News Radio for 27 years and tells G and Ursula.
I guess it does have a special place in my career, definitely. And it certainly is a legendary network from Edward R. Murrow on down.
CBS News Radio first launched in 1927. Today's announcement comes as the network plans to lay off 6% of its staff. Now to the real-time traffic desk. We check in with Nate Connors.
And this one's brought to us by the Seattle Mariners. In Renton, our collision south 405 and northeast 44th has moved over to your right lane. And we've got a solid backup starting near mid-Bellevue. Bellevue to Renton's taking you 40 minutes. That's double the norm. North 405 was slow from South Center up to the VMAC. It's 25 minutes from South Center to Bellevue. Here in Seattle, North 5 backup starting before the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal. We're up to a half hour now to clear this. South 5 slows from Ravenna Boulevard into downtown. Seattle to Federal Way is going to take you a half hour. It's slow from 405 to 516. Westbound 18 jams up at the West Valley Highway all the way over to I-5. Tacoma to Olympia is still holding steady at 50 minutes with this solid 4-mile backup through JBLM starting near Thor Lane. Up in Everett, eastbound 526, you're jamming up at Evergreen Way. And North 5 slows just briefly from 526 up past Lowell Road. And if you're heading through Bellingham this afternoon, a mudslide continues to block all northbound lanes at North Lake Sammamish Drive. No estimated time to reopen. Opening day is Thursday, March 26th. Don't miss out and get your tickets at mariners.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Had widespread flood watches and flood warnings for this afternoon. Though the rain is subsiding, the rivers are still rising. Will dry out, though, this weekend with highs in the mid-50s. Right now, 55 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. We have a lot of news related to dating reality shows today, which is interesting. We don't talk about it all that often, but just it all happened today. Maybe it's a Friday.
That's going to say, it is Friday.
Yeah. All right, there's a new show, Spike. I know you are going to be a huge fan of this one. It's called Age of Attraction. It's on Netflix. Let me read to you a little bit about what the premise of the show is, and then we're going to play some audio from the show. You tell me if this is something that you would be interested in watching.
Okay.
The show premieres this month on Netflix, and the basic premise is you have a bunch of contestants who get to know each other, dating situations. I think they even, many of them, move in together, all these different things. And they're single when they start the show, and then by the end, hopefully they form some sort of a really lifelong connection, maybe even love.
Okay.
Well. And then they reveal to each other, and they're not allowed to tell this early on, they reveal to each other their real age. So they don't know how old they are. Now, they know that there's somewhere between the ages of, I think the youngest contestants on the show can be 22. They want you out of college. It sounds like you're out of college age. And then 60 is the ceiling. So somewhere between 22 and 60, you have people who are getting to know each other. And I watched the trailer for this. I haven't seen the show yet, but I watched the trailer. Some really young-looking people. I was genuinely surprised when they said their ages. I went, whoa, they look great. What are they doing? You know? But it's the reaction from the other side of it.
Sure, yeah.
Because you know what they're not doing? They're not going a guy who says, I'm 55, and then a lady goes, oh, that's great, because I'm 49.
Yeah.
It's only a couple years. We have a lot in common. It's usually big swings.
Like double their age.
Listen to this one. This is a woman who is, let's see here. No, this is a man who's, well, I'll let them reveal their ages. But this is a man and a woman who paired up, and then now this is the reveal of their ages.
I'm 29 years old.
She's kind of staring.
I was worried. That's good for me.
Yeah.
So I am 49.
49. Jeez Louise.
I was gonna guess 29. Honestly.
Wait, did you think I was 49?
No.
How old did you think I was?
I was gonna say maybe 8 years older than me. I was thinking mid to late 30s.
Trick question, by the way.
Yeah.
How old did you think I was?
Yeah. Young. I thought you were very young.
I thought we were the same age.
The fact that you haven't blinked says otherwise.
Let me play you this
That
last
vein in
one.
your forehead tells me you didn't really think that.
This is a young woman and a guy who's not like crazy old, but he's not as young as she is. I'm going to play you this, and I'm going to ask you whether or not you think this is a good idea for. I understand the premise of it as a show, but whether or not these relationships have anything to them. But let's play this cut real fast.
I am 38 years young.
Don't know if I was expecting 38. Definitely a little shocked.
Based on her response right there, Spike, how old do you think she is? I mean, you kind of tell the way she talks. There's a certain affectation.
26.
You're close. You're close.
No, I thought you were younger. Like, I thought you were a lot younger. But, it's gonna be okay. Are you scared?
I'm a little nervous.
Okay. I am 22.
That's young. That's very young.
Doink.
Laura,
so is my granddaughter.
Do you think that this? How does that work? Do you think these people are going to stay together? She sounds kind of grossed out by his age.
It's so funny if you liked each other before the age, and then the age comes in, and age is just a number, but suddenly it's a factor.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really curious how much they'll get to know each other before these reveals.
Because we're just seeing the reveals. We haven't seen like all the build up and the laughs and
and the
ketchup fights.
Oh yeah.
Just kidding.
Ketchup fight. Wow.
It's kind of like Love Is Blind a little bit, is what it reminds me of.
Yeah, but isn't on Love Is Blind? They're all young and hot.
Mostly, yeah.
Like on this version,
that's been a criticism of Love Is Blind. Is like,
how about a show?
Well,
how about a show
your
called
odds are pretty good.
How about a show called Love Is Bald? Where you date a guy, you fall
Nobody
in love.
finds love with
and
bald.
some of,
Wait, they're all
these,
wearing hats,
one of
and
these
some
guys,
of them are bald, and
right?
others are not.
One of these guys is wearing a hairpiece.
And then it's the reveal. That's
right?
a great idea.
Yeah.
Then the reveal.
Right? The reveal.
Are you bald?
Right? Love is bald.
How many stay together?
None. But it's, my first thought was, is this like, how shallow are these people? Are they going to be just so shocked by this number that they didn't expect? But then
number matters.
A number I don't think age is just a number.
Well, that's the thing. My first thought was how shallow are they tonight on Netflix? No, it's really like, as I growing old with someone, I'm going to be 50 and they're going to be, needing me 24/7 to care for them.
Right, during your primo retirement travel years.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Right? So it's not
This
about just
guy-
being shallow. It's about looking when you fall. They're putting these people together to fall in love, right?
Yeah. And then they look like they have real.
Guess what? You don't have a future.
Yeah, what if the 29-year-old with the 49-year-old, like, what if he wants kids and she maybe already has kids and is done with that part of her life,
I guarantee you at 49, she's unlikely to have more kids.
Or vice versa. She's 22 and he's 53. And she wants to have kids.
Yeah, it still works.
Unless he's Tony Randall.
He might be rich.
He might, well.
Depends on how much
they're on a reality TV show.
It depends how much money you got. That's the truth.
That's true. Yeah.
It works. The equation works out a lot more for the younger woman than it would for the guy, I think. The guy.
From the faces I'm seeing, the older women seem less upset than the older men seemed.
Well,
am I wrong?
The 49-year-old woman, you make a great point. He's 29 right now. 49, she looks great for 49.
They're all
The fact that you
attractive
have
people.
to say, though, like 449
They're all
is not great.
Yeah, you've qualified it. 449.
Yeah, for 49,
you look great.
you don't look 49. You don't look your age. Congrats.
I think when I get older, I want to start lying and saying that I'm older than I am, so people are like, "Whoa,
Well, you look
oh my
great
gosh!"
for 73.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. In 20 years, like let's say they're really in love.
Yeah.
And in 20 years, he's going to be a 49-year-old man.
Right.
He'll be at near the peak of his earning potential. He's heading right into that thing. And she's going to be almost 70.
Right.
Huh? No,
And
thank you.
We'll see how blind love is at that point, right?
She'll literally be blind at that point. Or have like very thick glasses. This is also the other way. I saw another one of the couples, very young girl, 27, and then a guy who clearly didn't look super young, but didn't look his age. He was 60. And she just immediately...
Not say it like that to somebody who's older than that.
What's that?
Not say it like that. Dude.
I mean, how do you...
My younger brother would be 60.
Oh, okay. I didn't mean to offend
Sorry,
you.
not at all.
Yeah. But
not at all.
Ancient, 60. Oh my! Can you even imagine a person that old?
Yeah, I know.
Spike,
Yeah.
for you to date...
Call me Rusty, please.
Okay, for your brother, not you, let's say your brother in this situation, for your brother to date a 27-year-old is preposterous.
It would be, and we'd be high-fiving behind her back all day long. Good on you.
It would be, we would all go, that's ridiculous. He must have a lot of money.
Yeah, well, that's the next thing they'd say. Yeah, exactly.
Not everyone can be a Bill Belichick, right?
Oh,
well, he's just so attractive.
I wish
to young women.
nobody. I wish nobody could be a Bill Belichick. Let's just put that out there.
Bill Belichick has that special star quality.
He's got that certain
charisma, that sparkle in his eye.
That certain something. In fact, he's got millions of them.
He does.
Certain somethings.
He's got that sparkle for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is on Netflix. It's called The Age of Attraction, and I mean, I'll be honest, it feels like a train wreck, and I think I'm going to watch it.
They should call it Best If Used By tonight on Netflix. Pull
gross.
date.
What a mean thing to do, though. Make people fall in love.
And then,
And then rip it away from them. Like, congratulations, you can never have a family.
Does this say more about Netflix or the society that watches this show?
Everything. It says everything. It's like ABC and The Bachelorette. The fact that they hired that girl to be the
That's an
Bachelorette.
indictment on society, on what people will watch.
But it's also on ABC. ABC knew what they were getting into.
Yeah, they did.
But we're still going to watch it. We'll still watch
When's
it.
this on?
Yeah, check this out. All right, we got a lot more. You got your text messages, tons of fun stuff. We'll be right back.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
You know, folks, your roof protects, if you're like me, your biggest investment, your home. It's time to give my friends at Integrity Roofing, thank you, Integrity Roofing and Construction a call today at 206-202-ROOF. They do incredible work, impeccable workmanship. The testimonials on their website, integrityrc.com. There are literally hundreds, and you'll find my there. Call them today to schedule a free roof assessment, free video inspection. They've got years of experience in roofing and complete restorations. They can do the job. No matter how big it is, they can do it, and they can do it right. IntegrityRC.com, 206-202-ROOF.
An organized home is a happy home and a happy homeowner. John Curley here. Closets by Design made me and my home happy. Experience the quality and backing of a national brand with friendly local Seattle service. From booking the appointment to a free in-home consult to installation day, Closets by Design will leave you wowed and clutter-free. Right now, get up to 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule today.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee.
Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most.
That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family is banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber, connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back. File today the easy way in the Credit Karma app.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at Cars4Kids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
At Madrona Financial and CPAs, we believe financial decisions should be made with clarity, not sales pressure. That's why we host weekly educational seminars and live webinars on retirement planning, tax strategies, and rental property decisions, designed to help you think more strategically about your future. Whether you prefer attending in person or joining from home, there's always something coming up. To see our upcoming schedule, visit MadronaFinancial.com. Madrona Financial and CPAs. Informed planning starts here. Madrona Financial Services is an SEC registered investment advisor.
All right, welcome back to the show. Lots of text messages to get to, so why don't we just do it? Laura, fire away.
On rising gas prices, James in the 425 says the cost of gas for my household has gone from $780 to $1,300 a month for 5 cars.
Whoa.
5 cars.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of cars.
Yeah, it's a lot of cars.
Andre, is that Andre's?
Gas.
It's a lot of gas. Andres in the 425 says, I just paid $6.69 a gallon for diesel in Redmond.
Diesel's a killer. That's awful. I'm sorry, Andres.
So is Redmond. You know, you got to drive further out of the city for cheaper gas.
I'm sorry, guys. That's awful. Well, you got to do what you got to do. On Sound Transit cuts, Kirk in Mount Vernon says, I'd say the way it stands now, you won't see any of those 4 projects be completed with the current budget that they have. It was designed to fail from the very get-go. It was a huge money grab for Sound Transit. Thank you, Kirk. I completely agree with that. It feels to me like, man, they've dumped so much money into this, and they're still planning on dumping more. I wish they wouldn't.
Riley Camano says, if I lived in the area or worked in the area, I'd definitely ride the rail every day. I had the chance to go to Tokyo recently, and if our trains ever got to that level, I'd ride the rails as often as I could.
It'd be nice if we all had unicorns, too. But or we could fly.
Did we just wait too long? We waited too long on mass transit. You know?
No.
We did. We didn't invest decades ago.
No, that's not the case. We live in a different culture. We don't live in that. That's not our culture.
No, you're right. You're right. The American,
we live in a much more independent
automobile,
culture.
Yeah, we have space.
Our entire society is built around free and open roads and travel and all those things. You go to any of these other countries where it's like really, really successful. Go ride a high-speed rail through Europe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not knocking it. Like, great experience. We have a different set of priorities here in the United States of America.
I think you're valid. That's valid. 253 says they should cut their losses and discontinue future rail expansions. Here in Tacoma, my husband and I have a running challenge. Who can count the most passengers each time we pass the Hilltop Link extension? So far, I'm winning with my top count of 6 passengers. What a waste.
100%. I do this every single day when I'm on my way in, when I'm driving on 5, and I drive right by. They now have the Linwood
Linwood Station's up there. Yeah, the light
station
rail, Sun
by
Transit.
whatever it is.
Alder Mall.
And Alderwood Mall, and that train, which rides right along the freeway and then
cuts over. Yeah, you bet.
And every day when I drive by, I count the number of people. And the fact that in a 4-car train, which should be holding 800 people, that I can count them is a problem.
Yeah.
And I can count them. And I'm not talking about like a 9 o'clock travel time. I'm talking prime time on a train.
Like 8:30, 8:15.
8:20, 8:30.
Yeah.
I'm watching this train and I can count the people. And it's kind of hilarious. I mean, it's not funny because it's a waste of our money, but whatever. Chuck Norris. Let's get to that.
We got a lot of Chuck Norris jokes.
Okay.
425 says Chuck Norris is who the boogeyman checks his closet for before he goes to bed.
That's sweet. That's nice.
Adolfo in the 360 says, how many push-ups can Chuck Norris do? All of them.
That's funny.
All of them.
Scotty in Kenmore says, Chuck, I think he mispronounced, mistyped here. He said Chuck Boris. I thought that was part of the joke.
Come on, no.
Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the earth down. That's funny.
479, go sit around the campfire telling Chuck Norris stories.
Man, Chuck Norris. How sweet that this guy has this as part of his legacy.
It really is beautiful. I'll give you one more. Chuck Norris didn't die. He just relocated to heaven for technical reasons.
That's pretty funny.
Kind of a bird's eye view.
Can I?
Yeah.
I did see one other one that I want to not read, but recite to you.
Of course.
They said Chuck Norris walks through the valley of the shadow of death, and he fears no evil, which is really sweet because he was like a real outspoken Christian as well.
Yeah.
Good for Chuck Norris, his family,
for fruition.
Spending life with a cool guy. God bless him. Rest in peace.
On the ranch story, Charlie on the beach in Seattle says, "Boo, guys, you failed to press on a very relevant question: the size of the herd that the King family
Here's
owns."
the thing, Charlie. We tried to get that answer out of the King family, and for whatever reason, through their attorney, they were not being specific. I imagine I understand why they were trying to not be specific about that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as if we didn't ask them, but we did ask them.
Joel in Big Lake says, this is a great idea. Tell the King Ranch owners to get a hold of Afro Man and have him do a song about the Department of Ecology.
That's not a bad idea. Good idea.
On March Madness, Eric in Columbia City says, High Point, North Carolina, which you pointed out, it's one's the most efficient, effective schools. How do they call it?
It is the top-ranked. What did they say? It was Princeton reviews it as the #1 school for being well-run, like a well-run school. 99.2% of people who graduate have a job within a few months, I guess.
Well, Eric says it's the furniture capital of the USA, High Point, North Carolina. That's
Maybe
the
they're
one
building
industry
furniture.
is furniture production.
That's what they're doing, I guess. Let's see, Friday favorites, Southwest, fat shame story. Jamestown and Eastlake says, to add to the further cringe of the term thigh heat, please bear in mind that at times airlines have no problem causing
oh, yes.
swamp blank by delaying departure and boarding.
Yeah.
That's true.
On the income tax, John in the 573 says there's a lot of really nice small cities near the Appalachian Mountains that offer most of what Seattle has, and the houses are half, if not a third, of what they are here.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, they also offer 3 times the unemployment rate. That's one of the things about the Northwest. It's not just the amenities. It's the opportunities. It's all these things. But to your point,
that's what we're saying. Like we believe, those of us who disagree with this believe that it's going to dry up opportunities.
Yeah, it seems to be having that effect.
But the downside, actually, the silver lining to this gray cloud is once people start leaving town, houses are going to
prices will drop
cheaper because supply and demand. There's going to be a lot of supply and less demand, so that's nice. Age of Attraction, Doug in Mount Vernon says, Cougars and Cubs should be the name of the show.
Cubs and Cougs. That's what you ought to call it. Cubs and Cougs.
Good job.
3 series. My boyfriend and I have 24-year age gap. He's 27. I'm 51.
What?
We've been together for 3.5 years. It didn't start out as a relationship, but very quickly turned into that. So far, so good.
Best of luck, 360.
Yeah, good for you.
I would say that's quickly about to run its course.
Yeah,
if I had to guess.
We'll pass your number along to Netflix for season 2. Yeah.
But best of luck, 360. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. Have a great weekend. John Curley's coming up next. We will see you back here on Monday. Bye-bye.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Flace with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. If you own firearms, it's your responsibility to make sure they're always stored safely. Hiding them in a closet or drawer is not enough. Kids know where they are. Research shows the risk of injury and death is lower if guns are stored unloaded and locked up, with the ammunition locked in a separate place. This is important when children are young, as well as when they grow into teenagers. For more, talk with your pediatrician or visit healthychildren.org.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code